Okay, all right. This is the Blazing podcast, and today we're going to be talking about One Piece again, obviously.
Yeah.
So I got Jamie back again, and we're going to be talking about some One Piece.
on.
Today we're actually going to be talking
Fiction.
about yes, sir. We're going to be talking about character backstories and talking about the best character backstories across One Piece. Obviously, for those who are familiar with One Piece, you know there are a lot of stories for a lot of these characters.
900 episodes worth,
etc. You know, so there's definitely going to be a lot of good stories. 100%.
Yes,
so
sir.
yeah, to start off, I'm actually going to give one of my favorite ones, which I don't know if people rate like that, but you know, because I think the arc is one of the worst arcs, you know. So this is why.
Can I
think
guess
it had
what
one
it
of the
is?
best stories.
Is it
Yeah,
Brooke?
go guess. No, but that is one of mine.
Okay.
That is one of mine. But that's one.
Yeah,
that was
that's one
not
of mine as well. It's just I heard you say worst arcs, and I just thought
Fishman Island. This is Fishman Island. You know the whole story of the thing with Princess Toki, where she went to what's this called? Go to the Revier to get the what's its name? Oh, to allow Fishman Island to be part of the world government, so then they can go on. Yeah. And then you remember the what's it called? The celestial dragon that came down, and then he shot up the people, and then they saved them. And then that story ended up leading to what happened in the Revier when they went, and then they met the same guy again. Yeah, and that for me
and he
was
like
crazy,
was
just because
showing them through. Yeah.
Yeah, so that for me was crazy because especially with the whole story arc, because I thought Fishman Island was kind of weak in general compared to the whole thing.
But really, that's interesting. I mean, I didn't mind Fishman Island too much.
It's just what's it called? You know what my issue is? Is the villain. Hordy is a dead thing, fam. No one cares about that guy. Do you remember who he is? Yeah, exactly.
The villain of
He probably forgot.
He's not very. It's just Arlong too. Bro, so I get why there's that thing, but I mean,
it makes sense.
It makes sense when Jinbei joined, bro. It's like
100%. No, see, this is why I said like the whole story, because the whole thing with then Jinbei and then with the whole Sun Pirates and all that thing with I forgot the guy they had.
I was gonna mention it wasn't it Jaguar D Soul.
Yeah, something like that.
So I was gonna put him in the backstories or one of the fishmen, because I thought that whole thing with that was really interesting. You see it grow from like Arlong Park. But I don't know, I just didn't resonate with it. I'm just not a fish. So I just can't really like relate on that level, you know what I mean? But, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, that's an interesting one that you chose. I wouldn't have thought you'd say that, honestly.
No, because I thought it was a cold backstory, and I remember I watched it, and it was the one that I remembered the first one. I was just thinking about which ones to talk to. So it was one of the ones that weren't obviously the obvious ones that was like peculiar enough. That was actually a standout. But yeah, what was the backstory that you enjoyed? But still, I'm not allowing you for that. Because I'm not a fish comment. No.
Well, no, that's it's what we can relate to. That's how I base how good a backstory is. I don't know.
I hear you.
But so okay, before I get into like the main ones, right? Because I think the main ones you're gonna see everywhere of the best 100%. Stories is gonna be like Robin, gonna be Law, like all of them.
Chopper.
So
Chopper.
So Chopper for me did actually make the list. Because I thought Choppers was like a little like there were better stories than Choppers in my opinion. In my honest opinion, Choppers was just like cute. But I'm gonna get into the special list, right? Because I was thinking of these while trying to come up with some interesting ones. Whitebeard had a fucking great little backstory, and you see it when it's the Great War, when they're trying to save Ace. You see it like as he's about to die. You see like
him when he's younger.
He went on the ship, and what his like treasure is, which was family, and that was that
family.
Whole thing.
You
see it as it grows, as it goes on. Like even in Wano right now, you get to see the backstory of it, and you get to see his crew and all of that. I just thought that was such an interesting like little thing, and it. I remember you saying the grandfather of One Piece is who Whitebeard is, and I think that like perfectly applies to that, like the family sense of that.
No, I'll even build upon what you think. I think similar to kind of what I talked about with the Fishman one, with how it ended up linking back to something later on. It linked perfectly with the whole Odin arc, because you saw how he felt with Odin, and how even when Odin left to, what's it called? Blackbeard. Yes, you understand what happened. And it's like, why...
What the fuck? Yeah.
Exactly. So then, it also intensifies even more when you realize Whitebeard could have potentially invaded Kaido to get back Odin when all the thing that happened. Well, obviously that didn't happen, and now we're in the situation we are. But yes, it's just crazy how everything links nicely.
Yeah,
100%. But yeah, continue. You're about to say another.
I'll just say one more because that one was kind of short. Like, there's not too much to say about it, but it's in my special mention because I thought it was a nice one. I think going kind of off that, I think Buggy's backstory is fucking jokes. Like, I think it's so funny.
Buggy?
The fact that fact that him and Shanks were on Blackbeard's ship.
Yeah.
And they were just fucking about. And then
we said Blackbeard like 100 times. Goldie, Roger. We said like Blackbeard 5 times.
Yeah. Oh shit, not Blackbeard. What are we saying, bro? Roger. Sorry. Roger, not Blackbeard. He was on Roger's crew, and Roger fucking and then he got sick and couldn't make it to Laugh Tale. But like, regardless, I thought it was so good. And then now he became like a dickhead pirate after that, trying to like leech off other people, and then now is a warlord. But all was
100%
before I got disbanded. But yeah, man, the Buggy's one is nice. I like Buggy's one a lot.
That's an interesting one, and wasn't a one I was expecting. But I think I can agree with you. It's just more so because of how he's meant to be comedic for the whole time. The fact that he was such an important character like with the thing.
Backstory.
Exactly. No, not even that. It's not even that. I think because his character is comedic, and the fact that he was with such a serious moment in One Piece, it's kind of like you wouldn't have expected him to have been in that situation.
Yeah, to be one of the crewmates of Roger, like, is crazy.
Exactly. Like, you would have thought of all the people you were, and then man said Buggy. Like, what?
But I'm putting Buggy into every single like top 5 things to do about One Piece. Making it onto the list.
I hate you. That's crazy. But okay. That's a good one. Do you have another one you want to talk about? And then I think I have another one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I mean, okay, another one from the special mentions list. This really, really nearly made it into the top. But it's just so short, so I couldn't because the other ones had such more room to grow. But Senior Pig, bro, the fight with him and Frankie was fucking so out of the blue. Oda came in and just reminded us of why he's a fucking pig fiction. He reminded us of why One Piece is pig fiction in one episode. Made this fucking beautiful backstory, probably one of the best in the show.
Bro, I think it's like a top three.
Quick recap, bro. Quick recap for anyone who might have forgotten. I just want to remind everyone how much of a goat Oda is, bro. But I watched a video right before this. He had a baby, right? And he was married to this woman. The baby died, and then she found out that he was like a gangster. So with all of that, she had this mental break and just became like in this vegetative state, just lying on the bed. And the only thing that could like get an emotion was if he dressed up like her dead son, like how her dead son.
So that's like a real.
And that's the only reason, like that's only how she would laugh. And then that's why he dresses like that. But it was so quick and it was so short. There's a cover photo of the Oda drew for one of the things.
Manga things.
Well, I was gonna say
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I'll put the picture up. If I'm not a bit lazy editing, I'll show a picture now.
But yeah, he made a cover photo of Frankie and him having like a drink at the bar. But it was so perfect. Like, it's just so nice to see. But yeah, it very nearly made it on my top 5 or top 4.
For me, it's in my top 5. I feel it was one of the best. I thought the whole fight,
honestly, I don't blame you.
The whole fight itself was so different. And that's one thing I rate about the fights are very different, you know? So like the whole thing that they did the same move over and over again until who basically lost. And then he had the whole backstory. It was just like, it ended up, it was just like, what? It came out of nowhere.
I remember watching that, like, what? And then the fight ended out, bro. Even Frankie's such a goat because he was like, let's have a drink sometime. You can tell me about like everything. What a fucking goat, man. Anyway.
It was 100%. No, I completely agree. And I think, it was a top tier backstory. And
I think you get quite a lot of good arcs in
Dressrosa.
In Dressrosa, like you get a good few. You get Laws, you get that one, and you get Duffy's. And Law and Duffy, I was gonna get into.
And then Corazon as well. And
Corazon, but I kind of include that with Laws. Like I guess that's when I say.
And then you get the history of Dressrosa as well, and how Duffy did what he did to.
Yeah. Even the king of Dressrosa was like a really nice backstory, but it was just very fucked up.
That was
Riku,
it was
that's
tough.
his name.
It was tough.
That's
and
his
even
name.
what's his name?
As fucking
Rebecca's dad. Rebecca's dad. What's
her
dad?
I forgot his fucking name, dude.
The one-legged guy.
Long ago. it's mad because we had like 100 episodes of filler about, like, well, not filler, but backstory about that.
About him.
Like,
is it Tors? No, I'm thinking of Vinland.
Remember that name? I can't remember.
I feel like it's a Tors. It's a type, but then that's Vinland Saga, so I'm trolling.
I'm not sure. Yeah,
it feels like a Tors.
Saga. Yeah, it's something like that. So let me check quickly. Carry on. Sorry. Whilst I Google this.
Oh wait, I'm checking. Oh wait, technical difficulties.
Technical difficulty. It's fucking Kyros. That's it.
Huh? Kyros. That's it. See, I told you, like, a fours. I was on the right side. You know, Kyros.
Yeah, you were close. Yeah, you were close. You were close. Kyros sounds like someone that would be in Vinland Saga, to be fair. So
I'm saying, bro. Oh my days.
But yeah.
But okay, all right. Let me talk another guy. So another person's backstory that I rated was actually no. We said we're not going to talk about the main ones yet. Oh, special.
I mean, no, you can if you want to. I just said I didn't want to because I had quite a few to mention.
Yeah. I was gonna do Brooke because I know you're a big fan of Brooke as well.
I love Brooke, bro. Brooke is on my list. I
think the whole thing with the Laboon as well was amazing.
Gorgeous, bro. Like, even the fact that like he came before Roger was even King of the Pirates. So he's like, that's old, man. He had to live on that ship for time, like by himself, doing nothing. And he had the snail with the recording of Big Saki, him and his crew singing. Or Sake, brother. And then later he performs it with Luffy, and he's like, "I'm glad to be alive. Like this thing is no longer as a reminder. It's like
a reminder.
Complete the journey. Yeah. It's nice, man. It's a nice backstory. It really is.
100%.
I rewatch it like monthly to get my just quick of it.
Bro, no, it's a top tier backstory. It's just a shame it was such a dead arc. But you know, I'm always gonna keep the first part stand up on
I feel like that's why Oda's making Brooks such a goat. Like in these past 2 arcs, bro, like he carried the whole of Cake Island.
Cake Island. He was the MVP.
Brooke, bro.
But he did the
my God. It's like how why this character? Like why is he suddenly going out and like
I rate it, bro. He's always been the GOAT.
It's crazy.
He's always been the GOAT.
Honestly. But yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. Brooke is an amazing choice. Because you get the whole thing with Big Saki as well, like the history with it.
Completely.
Go back with Roger and stuff.
One thing that Oda always does well is that he always introduces little snippets of things so far ahead, like slow, like so far back, bro, and then you see like the remnants when it comes up, and it all links up nicely. Because
speaking of Thriller Bark, one of my boys reminded me the other day that there's a zombie in Thriller Bark who used to be a pirate of or on the crew of. I think it was probably Roger. Like you see the zombie. Yeah, I was watching it with him. I'm not sure if it's Roger, but there's a zombie in let me see if I can get the title actually. But there's a zombie in Thriller Bark that's like a very important fucking character. And you don't realize because it's just another zombie. It's crazy. Word. Same as I was rewatching Whitebeard's death earlier, and you see one of his crew who's like crying after he dies, who's in fucking Wano, who's now like a main character in Wano. You know the guy, one of the 9 samurai who went off to rescue Odin when he went on Whitebeard's ship. That he ended up staying. You see him at the Paramount War, bro. It's crazy.
Wait, Paramount War?
Yeah, you see him. In the fucking... No way. Bro, when Whitebeard dies, you see him. He's like, no! Like, he's there.
Yeah,
and he's a main character. It's crazy. Anyway, bro, the best character in One Piece is Oda. You need to come to terms with it.
I like Oda is the best. Oda is the best character. For real. No.
Yeah. Okay. Here. Captain John. This is it. So Captain John was on his. Yeah. Wait. Oh,
that was the most generic name, bro. Man said Captain John.
No, wait. So he was on Rocks, you know Rocks D. Zebek.
Yeah.
So the captain of the Rocks Pirates.
Oh.
That's the crew that Whitebeard used to be on. So this is it's not what I thought it was. That's the crew that Whitebeard used to be on. and Captain John was one of his crew, and and blah 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 blah. But there he is. That's him.
Jeez. Okay.
That's the guy.
And he was part of Zebek's crew.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
He's alcoholic pirate.
Look at Jamie educating us live on podcast.
This is why if you're my old flatmate, bro.
No, you're taking credit. If you're watching this, you're gonna have to subscribe and like.
Yeah, trust me, man. Come on.
Just for that insight.
I put in work to get that information, man. Like...
Exactly. Shout out his roommate as well. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
But yeah, 100%. One, I think actually, you can now give like your main one. So give me like your top main favorite, and then we'll wrap it up like that. Yeah, your top three. So for me, like because
I've
already said one of my top three, which is City.
Yeah. So we writ off Brooke. Brooke is now done from my list. I think it'd be rude to not say Odin has one of the best backstories. Like it would be
interesting.
Odin is essentially like the character that you would want to be if you were in One Piece. And it's such a short, Wano isn't a short arc, but it's the backstory essentially in the grand scheme of things is short. But I think in that short amount of time, he built up like the persona of Odin, or like that. So to introduce him as the guy that Whitebeard and Roger and Shanks, was it Shanks? Something like that. All heavily rated.
Okay.
So they introduced Odin like that with pretty much that sentence. And you're like, and in that backstory, it shows enough for that to be valid. Do you know what I mean? Like for us to appreciate who he is. Quick pause there, but essentially hold Odin to the same standard that Whitebeard was, or that we saw Whitebeard as, and same as Roger. After they had 900 episodes of build-up, they got to that same like level of respect with Odin in like 10. Do you know what I mean? Which is why it's such a crazy character to me. Same as you have, obviously, he was on Whitebeard's crew. He was on Roger's crew. Both like big names, bro. Like arguably the two biggest. And yeah, he's a beast. He held up his boys, and then. Yeah, what was it? 1 hour, the whatever 1 hour.
Yeah, boiling in, which is also, Odin is the dish, and he got boiled. And you know how he used to say, Odin wouldn't be Odin unless it's boiled. By the way, one thing I want to build on from something you said. One thing that is great that I think it was shown in the backstory that he said about Odin being extremely important is one thing he talked about when he said, I remember when Kaido asked him, why he's not afraid to die or something like that, and he was like, because his will would lead on or whatever, and it's shown to like the present day what's happening in Wano and etc. So you can see how now the whole conflict that is about to happen is kind of through the thing that happens through Odin etc. And it's linked everything together to the eventual events that we have. So I think one thing that is done is managed to link characters together with the minks and even the samurai, as well as bring our main protagonist Luffy involved within them and make it all make sense, which is the best way. Because at the end of the day, if you're gonna introduce so many new characters and such in-depth story, it all has to link and make sense, which it does. And it's just, bro, he's goated. What can I say? He's goated. Well, yeah, I think
none of these are in order, by the way, because I honestly don't think I could put them in order. Like I don't know if I like Odin's better than Books or whatever.
Or whatever. Okay.
I think all of them offer something special. But yeah, sorry, go on.
I'll give you another one of mine. No. One of my Sanji's. I'm gonna give Sanji's.
Yeah,
both of them.
He was on
both of them as well.
Which one?
So even the first one that we thought was his main backstory, which was the one with
Baratier.
Yeah, Baratier, and then the actual one where we find who he is and etc. Yes.
Yeah. So he was on my special mentions list because that one, like, it felt kind of random to put it in the middle of Cake Island, but like I still loved it. It was kind of like, what the fuck?
Really?
After we thought about it,
I disagree. The reason I think I disagree is because I think the reason Cake Island happened was because of Sanji in the first place, because of the whole wedding. Big Mom and Jumbo.
It was, but it's like after this long, how do we not know about any of that?
Anything?
That's why I was kind of like, what? But again, listen, did make sense, and it did hit hard.
Because
this is just so fucked, bro.
100%, 100%, 100%. I think one thing that was also showcased. You remember every time? Give me a second. Let me see if I can find it. So I'm not an idiot. Time skip. And when they would put their bounties, you know how they always put their full name. Sanji, they never had like his full name. And you remember also on the bounties, always had dead or alive. His was always alive.
Only alive.
Yeah. So I think like things were always anticipated, but we just never got to that event.
Yeah.
But I hear what you mean. That's interesting. Okay.
But I mean, regardless though, I think the story like it did hit hard because it was just he was a kid, and I think if that's like if you're a kid or if it's a flashback and you are a kid in the flashback, it's just it's going to be more fucked up than if they were an adult.
100%. Because obviously there's that vulnerability and the lack of being able to really control or do anything yourself. It makes you feel
and like the end consequences are going to be like essentially
100%.
manipulated because of what's happened to you. Yeah,
completely.
But yeah, man. What are we talking about again? Who were we talking about?
Sanji.
Yes. That was it. So I think it was cool. It was cool seeing his brothers and sisters. Or sister.
Yeah, sisters. Sister's the only one that I rate. The rest of them were kind of just dickheads.
Yeah, she was the only nice one, bro. Yeah,
she's the only one.
But yeah, I mean, it was cool. It's annoying how he didn't get any of like the powers, and that's why he was like, I guess he could have just been more powerful, or just could have made it a bit more exciting.
Yeah, bro.
Regardless, it was a great backstory because then you get the whole part where his sister's like kicking him off the cliff, and she's like, like go, don't look back. Yeah. Then he gets the fucking bro. It's kind of irrelevant, but he gets the Germa thing, and he can transform with it.
Yeah. That was cold. He has to put it on again. He has to put it on again.
Yeah, he has to keep it now. No way.
When it was against that dinosaur guy. What was it?
Yeah, at the beginning of Wano.
Yeah.
He's kind of irrelevant.
That was crazy.
He's kind of such a small villain. But yes, another backstory. One after mine.
Should be your last one? And I'll get my last one and we'll wrap it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to mention Robin's then. I think Robin's the one.
See, that was the one I was gonna do with me.
Yeah. Okay, do Laws instead. Talk about Laws.
Okay. Yeah, we can.
So Robin's. Or you can talk about Robin. I'll talk about Law. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Say no more.
So yeah. Okay. I'll talk about Law. So Laws from Just Rosa. You never expect Law to have that much of like a crazy backstory, but I think Corazon is one of like the just. It's very similar to Luffy, how it's just a nice guy. Do you know what I mean? After you find out about him. So he's very much like a fatherly figure, but a good one, which is strange to see in, I guess, anime in general. And I think that just kind of sticks with you, especially with his death, because he kind of essentially died for Law. And he's like, go live, you know, and then he steals the fruit to get it to Law so he can live.
He can live.
He's very good. He's essentially the opposite of what Duffy was in that arc.
Yeah.
So
he was part of the Navy as well. You remember?
Yeah. He was like giving insight into inside information. His devil fruit was sick as fuck as well. I love this devil fruit. It's 100%. Annoying that it's kind of lost and they're not bringing it back.
Yeah, but bringing it back. I mean, we never know with Oda.
We never know. Yeah, God, might bring it back one day. But I think it's sick. Like to the point, probably the part that hit most was when he was like the smile, and he was like smile. All the other part, that was heavy. 100%. The other part was when he was getting shot. And he was fighting to stay alive, so then
Law could hit Law screaming.
Yeah, but it's fucked because he knew that he was screaming as well. Oh, it's fucked up.
I mean,
man, that one did stick with me
completely. No, I agree with more. I mean, it linked perfectly because it linked perfectly with then their eventual first flashback with Dofi and Corazon as kids when they became went to Earth or whatever instead of Earth alive. They call it Earth, Merge-War, and but they call it Earth.
It's probably, bro. You're on the right track.
All right, but anyway. So when they did that, and then they obviously it connected perfectly with them because you've seen from the beginning that Corazon has been trying to prevent Doflamingo from the very start, but he's been pretending he's mute or whatever, etc.
Yeah.
So I think what's really good about it is that it links perfectly to lore in the present time, with his whole ship being about Corazon, because you know how it's the Heart Pirates or whatever. He also has the tattoos for him. He also, the whole arc of Dressrosa perfectly, as we say, everything always links nicely with our protagonist Luffy, that he ended up wanting to kill Doflamingo based on the revenge of what had happened, you know? So it was like a connecting of stories, and it ended up perfectly, and it gave us a good relief of him. Because I remember one thing.
I agree. Same as it was powerful when you see Law saying like he's gonna become the king of the pirates after all of that.
100%.
Especially the fact that he 100%. Has the D in his name. You know?
Completely. I think also one more thing about Law. What was it? I high-key forgot. All right. It probably wasn't important enough. It is what it is.
It's got to the win now, man. You're not getting
it's got to the win. All right. So then we'll wrap it up and we'll talk about our final one, which is Robin. So obviously Robin, I think, was one of the more important ones. Obviously, with the whole thing they had with Robin, you saw early moments of like worry with Robin when he had the moment with Kiji. He was like, say whatever, and then he froze them and etc. Then you get into Water 7, and then she's kidnapped. Well, not kidnapped, but she's asked to go when she leaves.
No, she's essentially kidnapped. They say in the show that she's kidnapped.
Yeah, kidnapped.
It was like mental kidnapping.
Exactly. Yes.
The fucking CP9. That show. She was like,
yeah. What?
She's just clocked. She's like,
I'm gonna have to cut. But listen, obviously it's not a joke.
It's not funny. Sorry. but yeah, it was powerful stuff. I think the whole theme with Robin's was that it was like mental health. Do you know what I mean?
100%,
it was the whole build up of Robin's character was that she didn't want to live, or that she couldn't have. She felt like she didn't deserve it. Like she had moments on the crew where she asked if she was going to be like a reliable ally, I'm pretty sure, or something like that. She worried about it.
Yeah.
Oh, she worried if she fit in or something like that. But back at the very, So back at the very beginning, you see, is it Jaguar Saul? Yeah, that's it. Saul, the giant.
Oh,
where Robin lives. You have the giant that's there that she's friends with. Same as all the people that are helping her learn and stuff. She gets to learn about the world, and then it's all gone.
Yeah.
The giant's the only guy left alive, and he's running away with her. And then he has the big message, where it's like, no one's born to be alone. Like, you have friends out there somewhere. It's like you have to go find them. And then and she was essentially going into the sea alone. It's all very metaphorical of like life and all of that. And then you get to the pinnacle of that whole character, which is when she was finally like, I want to be alive.
And Annie's lobby.
Stop, shot down the fucking flag and all of that.
100%. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that one stuck with me a lot. Completely. Like probably the most.
I think especially because you could tell how even at the start her character was more of an outcast compared to the other people, and then the whole combination of I was
surprised at the fact she even joined in the beginning.
Exactly.
They even let her. After all she did in fucking Alabasta.
I mean, it was Luffy, bro. He accepts anyone.
He's like, bro, Brooke was the first conversation they had. He's like, do you want to join?
You want to join? Yeah. All right, cool. Bro. But no, I completely, and I think it made her more accumulated to the whole thing, and you can see how throughout the rest of the arcs, how much more comfortable and gelled in it looks within the rest of the crew. So I think it was a very important scene, and it's great character development for Robin to be able to go over the kind of trauma that she's gone through before, you get me. And it's one of the more impactful ones, so completely. But I think actually that will wrap up our thing. Obviously, there's some good special mentions, so let us know if you guys have other things you would prefer.
I'd recap them, but I can't remember. I can't even lie.
Exactly. Low-key, we did this on a flight. We did this on a flight, so we really didn't recap.
We did this on a
so you have to respect one. You have to respect with the amount of One Piece there is, and how we're just picking these other
hours and hours of One Piece.
If that's not a subscribe,
entertainment. If that's not worth a like, bro,
or a comment. Come on.
Comment word, just type in a word with an input. It's not even worth that.
Because you can say okay. Because I would like the comment as well. You can get pinned. First person to say okay gets pinned. Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you for watching, and like, share, comment, and subscribe. And hope you have a good day. Yes, sir.
Young lady mentality. Ghosted.